Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres. And today we have a problem. And it starts with the letter C. Cucumbers. Our refrigerator is totally stuffed with vegetables right now. But one of the big problems we're having is cucumbers. I've heard from a couple of people lately that their cucumbers are starting to come off and they would love to have some recipes. I can do that. The first thing I'm going to make today is called Sunomono. If you've ever been to a Japanese restaurant, you can get a cucumber salad there. And it's a very simple, fresh pickle, basically. It's made with a rice vinegar instead of cider or regular vinegars like we would use. And it's a mild, just tasty salad. Particularly good when it's really hot. It's just one of those refreshing things. It's sort of the salad equivalent of eating an ice cold watermelon. It feels good as well as tasting good. So let me get started on that. The first thing we need is rice vinegar. Now, I used to be able to get this at the grocery store, but even in the best of times, it was iffy as to whether I could get it locally here. It is different than the regular white vinegars that we use, and it has a lower acid content, so I would not use this for preserving pickles, for instance. But it's fine for a fresh pickle that's going to be eaten with, usually they don't last more than 4 days around here, and at 4 days they're still fine, because it's only a 4.3 acid level. So that's not high enough for preserving. Now, one of the fun things about this particular type of pickle is I might make it right in the container I'm going to store it in the refrigerator, which means I have eliminated yet one more bowl in my life of washing dishes. This is a good thing. So first thing I need to do is actually get a couple of cucumbers ready. I'm going to be making more salad than what the recipe calls for, but certainly you could make it in smaller quantities. Smaller is easier. So I'm going to take these and rinse them. There we go. Now these cucumbers have not been sprayed. They're from our own greenhouse. They are from, we have 5 plants in there. I had planned to grow 3. All of the seeds I planted sprouted. They were old seeds, so I was concerned they might not. But apparently that was not something I needed to be concerned of. Now, I always take off my 2 ends first, and then I cut it. I'm cutting these about 1/8 of an inch thick, no more than 1/4 of an inch thick. They're supposed to be delicate. Obviously, I have clean hands. That was the first thing I did. Oops. Do not do that. Wash the knife when you drop it on the floor. Okay, there's 2 nice big pickles. I mean pickles, they will be pickles. 2 nice big cucumbers in there. And now I'm going to, now I have to warn you, you could break a nail doing this. I'm going to add the ingredients. There are 3 ingredients: rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. That's it. So what I do first is I take my sugar and my salt. Now we get 2 teaspoons of sugar. And I'm going to sprinkle it over the cucumbers in the container. One teaspoon of salt. This happens to be kosher salt. This is one of the ingredients I don't, one of the recipes I don't worry about whether I've got iodized salt or not in this, because it's not a preserved item. It's going to be eaten within a couple of days. If I was doing any kind of a preserved pickle, I would make sure that I had something like a kosher salt or a pickling salt that does not have any additives to it. So this is just kosher salt here. And then I'm going to add the rice vinegar, which is simply 1/3 of a cup of rice vinegar. Make sure I got the right marking. That one, yes. Okay. Then I'm going to pour it over the sugar and salt thoroughly until it helps to dissolve it by pouring it on top. And then I'm going to put a lid on. I'm going to shake it around a little bit gently, just to sort of slosh all the ingredients together. And then I'm going to flip it upside down. Now, why am I flipping it upside down? Well, it's because when it's this is not like a huge volume of liquid. As the cucumbers sit there, the salt is going to draw some of the moisture out of the cucumbers. So there will be more liquid in here in the long run. But in the short run, there's not much liquid in here. And obviously the liquid has all run to the bottom. This is a waterproof container. You have to do this in a waterproof container. Otherwise you'll make a heck of a mess. But I'm going to leave it upside down for probably 20 minutes, half an hour, while I do some other things. And then I'll flip it back over in the refrigerator. Now, sometimes I'll remember to flip it a couple of times in the refrigerator. Sometimes I don't. But by doing that, it makes sure that the stuff that's on the top actually gets some vinegar in it. Otherwise, all the vinegar will be in the bottom, and that's great, except that means the tops will basically just be cucumbers with a little salt and sugar on them. And that is all it takes. I usually like to let them sit 2 hours before Henry gets them. Sometimes I know we don't achieve that because he gets to them sooner than that. But then he'll eat the ones off the bottom that have been soaked in the vinegar more. Lovely, cool, refreshing. Try it. Great way to use up some of your cucumbers. I obviously have a few more to work with now. But that's 2 less that I have to put back. And I'm going to try some other things because we still have too many cucumbers in the refrigerator. So obviously we'll be doing tons more, lots of cooking because we have lots of veggies right now. So be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss it. Going to have more recipes, more vegetables, more flowers. I need to do a review of the flower garden actually because it is gorgeous. And it's I don't know if there is such a thing as peak with this garden because it keeps producing more, but it's been a little beat up lately because of the winds, but still gorgeous. So until next time, bye.